Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is RP Castellon, your co-dreamer here in the United States of America. So before we proceed to our sharing, let me say sorry for not uploading a video last week because of my busy schedule. So for everyone's information, we are in the last month of the school year, which is the busy month, preparing our grades for graduation rites and everything. So please keep following all my videos, watching all my videos despite of my busyness. So this video that I'm going to share with you is uh, some of the classroom tips for you to be prepared, for you to be ready in a American environment. Okay, so basically I will be giving you some ideas, some informations on how are you going to deal with classroom management. So if you are one of the aspirants who is really eager to manifest your dream here in the United States of America, you better watch this video. Alright, so as what I have mentioned a while back, that we will be discussing some of the classroom experiences, um, focusing on classroom management, on how are you going to deal with your students, with the parents, with your peers, and of course on how are you going to prepare yourself for you to cope up with American school environment. Okay. Alright, so just a real quick reminder. Let's say you are an experienced teacher back in the Philippines. Let's say you've been in the teaching field for like 10 years, 15, 20, or more than 20. Um, it has nothing to do with um, it has nothing to do with your mastery of classroom management, because Philippine environment and American environment is different. So there is a big difference between the two. So if you are good in classroom management back in the Philippines, here in America you have to start all over again. So if you're experienced, then maybe it is easier for you to prepare for a new beginning. But you know, it's good to be ready, it's good to be oriented all the time when it comes to classroom management in a foreign country. Okay. Okay, disclaimer lamang po na all the information that I'm going to share with you are based on my experiences, based on my observations, and based on my personal point of view. So, it's up to you kung susundin niyo siya or hindi. So, wala namang problema doon. Just like, I'm just giving you an insights here in American environment, okay? Wait, so I have a question. Is it okay to be a strict teacher? Or is it okay to be a kind teacher? Or is it better to be a neutral teacher? So it's like you can be good, you can be strict, so you are a neutral teacher. So if you have suggestions, just comment down in the comment box. Then let me see your answers about it. Alright, so let's start our discussion and sharing on how are you going to be prepared with American environment, American school environment. Okay, so my first tip would be like you have to consider yourself as a new teacher here in America. Even you are an experienced teacher back in the Philippines, you've been in the field for like 20, 30 years, then when you got here, you have to consider yourself as a new one. Why? Because some of the things here are really different from the Philippines. So in educational system we have in the Philippines, here in America is a different scenario. So you have to consider yourself as a new one to try to learn everything here in America. Okay? Okay, Um, so what do I mean by considering yourself as a new one? Kasi, ito yung mga makatotohanang pangyayari to na even you are like, let's say, master teacher ka sa Pilipinas, principal ka na sa Pilipinas, then when you got job here, you will be going to start from the very first step. Yung first step na yun is like you have to know the educational system, the grading system, the handling classroom management, dealing with students and with your co-teachers. So it's like everything is new, so you have to study it. So you are a new teacher here in America, okay? So anyway, it's up to you pa din kung susundin niyo siya or hindi. So we have different opinions, we have different perceptions when it comes to dealing with people and doing your work. Okay. All right. So for my tip number 2 is very important. I think for me, this tip is really important as a teacher to have a classroom setup. So naniniwala naman ako na even the classroom is not well decorated, then still the learning will be there. But try to look beyond of that scenario. Let's say ikaw yung tipo ng guro na you want to have a friendly classroom, well decorated, then what do you think the impact of having that kind of classroom? So basically, maganda yung magiging effect na sa mga bata. Like for example, I myself, I am a student, then I will be choosing like between two classrooms, the well decorated and not well decorated. Of course, I will be going here. Kasi sa tingin ko, doon ako may matututunan. So now, if you are you will be starting your job here in America, always consider this thing, to have a classroom setup, to have a good classroom setup. So I know na once a Filipino teachers, we are exposed, pinractice tayo sa Pilipinas na dapat laging magandang classroom natin, which is good. So I know naman pagdating mo dito, basic na lang sa'yo kung paano mag-decorate ng classroom mo. Okay? So, sa tingin ko kasi, based on my experiences na dito sa school ko, kapag yung classroom maganda, tapos yung mga bata na parang nahihiya sila, parang nag-hold back sila na, iingatan nila rin yung classroom mo. Ay, nakakaya namang galawin to, ganyan. Kasi, in another way, may classroom din naman ako nakikita na hindi siya well decorated. The teacher is very good, the teacher is very smart, the teacher is very interactive. But the thing is, parang may sasarin ko lang, kahit maganda yung learning process inside of the classroom, tapos yung classroom sobrang plain lang, as in walang masyadong decoration, tapos ang messy. So, maganda yung learning process, pero yung environment, hindi siya ganun kaganda. So, there's a point. So, isipin nyo na lang din yan, okay? So, that would be my second tip. Try to have a good classroom setup, okay? Okay, for my third tip, this one is really important. So, this tip would be engage students with setting behavior expectations. Okay? So, importante yon para at before the school year starts, oriented na yung mga bata kung ano yung mga expectations mo inside and outside of your classroom. This particular setting of, expectations, kailangan lagi itong, napapollow up mo to everyday. Kailangan ino-observe mo siya everyday, tapos kailangan reminded ang mga bata every day. Okay? So why is it important to have behavior expectations? So obviously, kung alam ng mga bata yung mga rules mo at ini-implement mo naman siya regularly, matataglinin ng bata all throughout of the school year. So it's like the best step for you to have a good school year experience with your students, okay? So in addition to tip number 1, which is engage your students with your behavior expectations, it includes also the classroom rules. So it's really good to have a classroom rules in your class so that the the teaching learning process will run smoothly, and it's easier for you to manage your students. Okay, so for my tip number 4 is like try to use non-verbal cues in managing your class. So like yung saying what let's say when you use this one, stop. When you use this one, go to your class. Something like use non-verbal cues for your management. It lessens your talking points. It saves your energy all throughout of the day. So it's like you are being systematic when it comes to classroom management. All right, so for my next tip is provide immediate actions when it comes to addressing the behaviors of your student. Okay, so as a teacher, you have to be vigilant, you have to be mindful on how are you going to handle these defiant students. Remember, whether you are in the Philippines or here in America, there are students who are very defiant. And it is one of the difficult situations that we teachers are facing every day. So if I were you, for you to have a good classroom management, always prepare immediate actions. So I'll give you one tip. Like for example, in your class, then problem arises, then right away give them an immediate action. So halimbawa, may mga batang pasaway, dalawa nagpubungangaan, nagsasalitaan, something like that, then saying like vulgar words. Get their attentions right away. Kasi kapag ipinamamaya mo pa yan, makakalimutan mo yan. Tapos sasabihin, maiisipin ng mga bata na, okay lang yun, hindi naman tinitake ni teacher ng seryoso yung mga ganun bagay. So, if there are cases na nangyari sa classroom mo, treat them right away, get their attentions, tapos bigyan mo sila ng immediate actions. Halimbawa, kakausapin mo sila sa labas ng classroom mo, tapos bibigyan mo sila ng referral form. Yung referral form na yun, halimbawa na it signifies that but it's a warning for you to send them in the office. Kung wala pa talaga, then communicate with their parents. So those are the common things that American teachers are doing here. So sa tingin ko, napakagandang way nun para maging aware mga students na we have immediate actions for that particular problem. Okay, for my next tip, so it is like a 6th tip. You have to be aware of cultural diversities with cultural differences, because here in America, this country is really like diverse country. It's composed of many students coming from different backgrounds, so you have to be aware of your students' background. Okay, so why is it important to know them? Because sometimes may mga estudyante dyan na may masabi ka lang pangit na against sa kanila, iisipin agad nila na racist ka. Okay? So, maganda na alam mo yung background ng mga estudyante mo para you know your words. para alam mo yung mga gagamitin mong words kung paano mo sila i-address yung problema, kung paano ka makikipag-communicate sa mga bata mo. Okay? So, it's not easy, but you have to learn as a teacher, okay? All right. So, next tip for you to be a, good teacher here in America, always have documentations, or you have to document all the incidents, the activities that you are doing, even the assignments, the performance. It's like you have to have your database in your classroom. So everything that happens in your class, document it. Okay? If you think it's important, document it. So once na magkaroon ka ng presentation with your superiors like principal, then they will ask you about the supporting documents, then you are ready. Okay? So anyway, yun namang mga ganyan ay alam ko naman po na bihasa na tayo dyan kasi lagi naman natin siyang ginagawa. Okay? And remember, if you are a teacher who always doing this, it's a good teacher that you are, it is a sign that you are a good teacher. Okay? So, my next tip is very important as well. This is like engage parents with positive communications. So basically, if you are a teacher, it always happens that you need to have a communication with your parents. So let's say in dealing with the behavior at that particular student, then you can communicate with the parents on how are you going to handle that student. Then, syempre, hindi naman basta puro negative lang yung i-communicate mo sa parent. Then, if you think the students performed well, then share it to the parents. So it's like it shows support to the students' improvement. Okay. Okay. So for the next tip, this one is very important. If you want to be a good teacher, if you want to have a good experience, you teacher must be ready every day. As I always say in my video, always go to school prepared. Okay? So, as a special education teacher here in America, I always go to the different classrooms. So, naobserbahan ko yung mga teacher na prepared, naobserbahan ko yung mga teacher na hindi prepared. Then, I really see the difference when it comes to, students' interaction. So if the teacher is ready, you will see that the teaching learning process is smooth. Then, sa teacher na hindi ready, ang mga estudyante walang gana kasi naiisip agad nila na the teacher is not ready. So, anong gagawin? Then, yung parang, if you are not ready, ang gagawin mo na naman, yung ginawa mo kahapon. Kung hindi ka ready, ang gagawin mo na naman, kukuha ka lang ng book, magpapasagot ka lang. So, it will happen, let's say, regular kang ganun ginagawa mo, so, nakakatamad. So, if I were you, if you will be teaching here in America, always set your mind that you need to be ready every day, ready with your lessons. Then, additional tip, if you want to have a good experience, always be strategic or very, how do you call it? Yung maraming mga activities sa pagtuturo dito. Kasi, ang learning style dito sa America, more on activities, then it's like more on interactive strategies. Okay, so my last tip would be a model to your students, be a model to your teachers, and be a model for yourself. So basically, you have to show and promote positive behavior in your class, in and out of your classroom. Because always remember, if you are a teacher, there are many students watching you. there are many students listening to you. Okay, so always practice professionalism. So that's all. Thank you so much for following my YouTube channel, supporting my YouTube channel, and watching all my videos. Thank you so much. And to all my dreamers, please do continue your dream to become a teacher here in America. Okay. Then I just want to follow up for my previous question in the first part of this video. Is it okay to be a good teacher? Is it okay to be a strict teacher? Or is it okay to be a neutral teacher? Okay? Then if you have your answers, comment down. Okay? Thank you so much. Antok na ako.